All right, class, welcome to Strength and Conditioning, day number 1. I'm going to be your teacher for the year, Mr. McCoy. All right, today what we're going to go over, objective for the day, we're going to go over weight room safety. There's a lot of equipment in the gym, a lot of opportunities and chances for someone to injure themselves. So that's what we're going to take today, the first day, to make sure that we reduce the risk of injury as best as we can. That way we don't have any other issues throughout the year. Just going over some basic rules, all right? So to start off the day, for our question for the day, okay, I want you guys to sit there and think to yourself of what's something around the gym that could cause someone an injury, okay? Look around the gym, find something that could look around the gym. I'll give you guys about 3 to 5 seconds here to think to yourself, what's something that could cause an injury to the gym? Right back here, first one. Yep, these weights right over here. Okay, any of these weights right here, especially the heavier ones that we get to, drop this on someone's foot, could break a toe, throw it across the gym, okay, someone wants to do that for whatever reason. Throw this across the gym, could hit someone in the head, give them a concussion, definitely don't want that. So yep, great answer. Any of these weights right here could cause an injury. Anything else someone saw? Perfect, right over there, we have these bands, all right? They come into all different shapes and sizes. All this is essentially one giant rubber band, all right? Just like a rubber band, they can snap, and it becomes useless, and ends up looking like this. When this breaks, that's gonna hit someone in the head. Just think to yourself, if you've ever been hit with the rubber band, just think of that 10 times harder, that's what this would feel like. So anytime you see equipment in the gym that is defected, please let me know, or any other instructor, that way we can get it taken off the gym and no one else gets hurt, okay? Anybody else see anything that they see around the gym that could cause injury? Right back here, perfect. These little tiny cones, okay? They look tiny, don't look like they would cause much injury, but if these get left out or also thrown across the gym, we're not supposed to throw anything, but if someone decides to throw it, hit someone in the head, could cut somebody trips and falls if it's left out. Great answer. Even though it's tiny, even though you might not think about it, can still cause an injury, okay? Those are all great answers of things in the weight room that can cause injury, all right? So next thing we're gonna go over, key weight room rules, all right? We're gonna go over 4 rules that are probably the most important ones to keeping you guys safe in the weight room. There's more, but we're just gonna go over 4 for today, all right? The first rule, number 1, know your limits, all right? If it's your first day in here, it's probably not a good idea to load the bar up with 500 pounds and try to 1-rep max that, okay? That's not a good idea. You're gonna get yourself hurt because you haven't properly built up to that weight. So know your limits, know how much weight you can do. Know when to push yourself and know when to pull yourself back. If you try to attempt a lift that you're unable to do, that can cause an injury because your body isn't prepared for it and could cause injury that way by dropping on yourself, crushing it on your neck if we're bench pressing, right? So knowing your limits, knowing what you can do is key for any exercise we do in the weight room, right? Number 2 most important rule, use only equipment if you are instructed to do so. So for example, the most commonly misused equipment in the gym, these right here, medicine balls, okay? This isn't a bowling ball, this isn't a soccer ball, this isn't something I'm gonna throw across the gym to see how far I can throw it, okay? These have specific uses in the gym. Just like everything else, they have specific uses. It's also not a chair to sit on, all right? We'll get to using these sometime down the road, but when we get to them, only use them in the way that I intended, okay? There's a specific reason we're gonna use these. Do the exercise accordingly, all right? Only use equipment if you've been instructed to do so. Rule number 3. Next, we have that was rule number 2. Now we're gonna go to rule number 3, okay? Always have a spotter. Now we're gonna shift gears here a little bit. We're gonna move ourselves right here in front of this platform, okay? Now, in the weight room, the exercise that causes more injuries than any other exercise combined is bench pressing. That's why it is most important that we go over how to have a spotter for this exercise. All right? When you're going down, you have an opportunity, you're going to drop that on your neck. If you're using a lot of weight and don't have a spotter, you have no way of getting that bar off your neck, and it can crush your neck. That's not going to be fun, all right? So we need to go over how to properly spot somebody when they're doing a bench press, okay? Number 3, as you can see on the whiteboard, says always have a spotter. That means if there's no weight on the bar currently, like there is, you're still going to have a spotter. If you're going for a 1 rep max, trying to bench press 300 pounds, you're going to have a spotter. No matter what, always have a spotter when you're doing bench press. Okay? There are 3 key things to focus on when spotting. Key number 1, having the correct body position. Okay? Standing back here is not going to correct body position, because if this person fails right now, I got to run in and catch the bar for him. In that split second, that's going to cause an injury. Okay? We're trying to reduce those injuries, so every split second count. So the correct body position, if I need to be, I'm up on these platforms, my body is slightly behind the person. Not standing over directly on top of them, just slightly back here, that way I'm in good position. All right? That's rule number 1, correct body position. Rule number 2 of having a spotter, okay? Hand placement. If I'm in my correct body position, like so, but my hands are back here behind my back, that again, this person fails, now I gotta reach in and grab. Again, that split second can cause an injury. What are we trying to do? Reduce injury, correct. So, hand placement, always gonna be right here. Any questions over this one? Yes, right here. Yes, it is important where your hands are at on the bar, okay? That's a great question. A lot of times when you see someone spotting, you're gonna see different hand positions, okay? Sometimes we'll have double overhand, sometimes we'll have opposite hand placements like so. In this gym for this year, you're always gonna have double hand placement just like this. The reason for that, if one hand's here, palm's facing away from me. This one's here, palm's facing towards me. When I go to pull that bar up, this one's gonna have a tendency to pull in, this one's gonna have a tendency to push out. And when I'm doing that torque kind of motion, the person benching right there, they're gonna get all twisted, and that can pop out someone's shoulders, okay? Even that tiny little detail of where to place my hands can save ourselves when we're spotting someone. So remember, always double hand placement, okay? Great question. Any more? Oh, perfect. Position number 3, okay? The third rule of spotting is my eyes, all right? So like so, here I am, correct body position. My hands are in the right spot, but if I'm looking off over here, seeing what they're doing on another platform, looking at how much time's left in the class, okay? Even though I have the first 2 rules down, the third one isn't there, this person fails, I gotta catch myself and grab the bar. Once again, that split second is gonna cause an injury. So, my eyes always gotta be faced on the person lifting. That way, if they start to fail, I can see that they're failing, and I can pick up the bar, all right? So, are there any other questions? No? Perfect. What I wanna do now, someone tell me what is one of the keys to correctly spot. Right back there, perfect, correct body position. Yep, up here just like this. Second thing, what's the second most important thing when we're spotting? Right over here, perfect, hand placement, okay? Should my hands be like this? No. Should they be like this? Yep, perfect, just like that. Hands, both palms facing towards me. What's the third rule of spotting? Correct, my eyes focus on the lifter, right? If you have all 3 of those things, you're gonna ensure that that person right there is safe when they're doing this lift. So whenever we spot, whenever we're bench pressing, okay, and any other types of lift that need a spotter, always have a spotter. Spotter always gotta follow those 3 rules, all right? Now, if we go back here to our whiteboard, our 4th key rule for the day, it says on here, return all the equipment once you are done using it. If you look on this platform right here, all right, the bar is set at a certain height. These clips right here are set in a certain position. These down here, they're set at a certain position. The bench is at a certain position. If you see up on here with all of our weights, all of our change plates, they're all at certain spots. All the weights are grouped together, okay? Whenever you are done for the day, the rack has to be reset to look like this. You guys are all in high school. You should know the importance of picking up after yourselves. That way somebody else doesn't have to do it for you. All right? So whenever you're done for the day, the rack needs to be set up and look just like this once you're done. All right? Any questions so far? Nope. So what we're going to do next, you're going to pair up in groups of 3 to 4. Those are going to be your lifting groups for the semester. All right? You're going to go out to a rack. You're going to pick your guys' assigned racks. When you get there, you'll notice on your rack that something is out of place. All right? Before class, I went through. I just kind of messed a few things up. All right? Your job as a team, work together as your lifting group, you're going to reset your rack to look just like this. All right? You're going to have it look set up just like this one. That way you know where everything is at the end of class, and that way I know that you know where everything is at the end of class. Okay? If you need an example, this one right here is set up exactly the way I want it to be. Okay? Once you have finished that, and once your group thinks you are successfully gotten everything done, you're going to come get me. When you have set everything back to the way it's supposed to be, I'm going to hand your group one of these forms right here. Okay? It says weight room rules on it. It lists all 10 rules. It's got our 4 key rules that we went over today, and it's got a few more just that we need to follow to ensure that everyone is safe. If you look on the bottom, you're going to have to sign it, and you're going to have to take it home and get your parents to sign it as well. That way you know, that way your parents know, the way that we should operate when we're in the weight room to keep everyone safe. You will not be allowed to be lifting and using the equipment in the weight room unless this is signed by you and your parent and returned to me before you can start lifting, okay? Today's a Friday. You have the whole weekend to take care of this, so I should see this returned back on Monday. If not, you'll just be doing probably body weight exercises, not being able to use any of the equipment, okay? Any other questions before we back up into groups? No? Perfect. And with that, dismissed.